And here's the star of our show, my wife. She's going to give you a reading. This one is quite long, so you're going to have to sit back and listen for a while. She thinks it's funny. I didn't. I just think it's long, that's all. So anyway, so just, you'll see. It's called
Adele's Christmas Story. This is, have y'all ever wrapped your presents early and then put the names on who they're going to give to? Well, Adele triumphantly tied the string on the last present package to be mailed. Christmas shopping was always difficult for her because, never having been married, she'd never been educated as to just exactly what it was that pleased men, nor children for that matter, and women were just too picky to buy for. But she felt like she had done a good job this year. There weren't many people on her list, but she'd gotten just the right gift for each, and every one of the packages were bought, wrapped, and ready to be mailed long in advance of Christmas. She was on her way to the kitchen to get the sponge to moisten the address labels when the telephone rang. She had a rather long conversation. She felt she'd owed it to herself. It was a relaxing time, visiting a good friend. She came back, got the packages ready, and mailed them with much satisfaction. Her niece was always the most difficult to buy for. Linda was in college, and to get something special to her niece would know that she was really with it. This Christmas, she thought, since the girls only live from party to party, why not give her napkins and invitations and games and all things it took to have a party? Adele was especially proud of the fact that she had taken care to write just the right note with each gift. With the party's good, she wrote to her college niece, "Darling, love life and share it with your friends on New Year's Eve." It was a good gift. Her own old maid was always difficult to handle when it came to shopping, and Hattie always seemed to be frail and delicate. The time that always got lilac cachet every year for Christmas and a lace handkerchief. Adele looked at the cameo one more time before she wrapped it. It had been an engagement present from her father to her mother. She herself had never really been comfortable wearing it, but she knew Aunt Hattie would treasure it, and she wrote a little note with it, and so she wrote, "I received this from the greatest lady I've ever known, and passed it on to the next great lady of our family. Word with love." That was a good gift. Adele liked her pastor. She wanted to get him something for Christmas, and when she saw her new book entitled Jesus and Alcohol, she thought, that's just the thing. He preaches almost every Sunday on alcoholism, and as a matter of fact, she thought that if there was anything that was right down his alley, it would be this little book, and she carefully worded the gift card remarks to him. It said, "Your words and actions influence so many lives. Thank you for all the good you do." Adele knew the pastor would never have approved of the gifts she brought her brother, but ever since her brother had married that woman with all those children, he had been drinking too much. Time and time again, he commented on how unpleasant it was to go home. She thought if it would give him a little peace, why not? And she bought him the most expensive bottle of bourbon she could find. And almost slyly, she had written a little note that said, "Hope this provides a little sanctuary of your own. Try it and like it." It was private, but just between her and her brother. Now, her boss, for whom she had worked for several years, with who she always been just a little bit in love, had never much as ever called her by her first name. But he was such a good boss and had provided a good living for her, and Adele wanted to give him something that would that would be enough to say, I truly like you, but not to show ostentatious. Finally, in almost desperation, the only gift she wasn't overjoyed with. She bought a gift certificate, one for the department stores, for $35. She thought $35 said, hey, I'm not cheap, but neither am I trying to be friendly. So she had just very simply written Merry Christmas on the gift card. The sixth gift she had to buy was for her little 5-year-old nephew. She selected a cute little teddy bear, wrote an endearing little inscription with it, and getting all her packages in the mail, she began to enjoy Christmas. It was about 4 days later that Adele would begin to explode, and Aunt Hattie had called in the middle of the day, and Aunt Hattie never called in the middle of the day unless there had been a death or an emergency, and the rates were too high. Aunt Hattie was just desperate on the other end of the phone. Adele, you've got to come and help me. You must come. Why, surely I'll be there, Aunt Hattie. What's the matter? Why do you want me? Well, it's for the party, and you've got to come. I've never had a party in my whole life, and I don't know what to do first, but if you think I ought to have one, I'll try my very best to have it. She got it all mixed up with somebody else. And so slowly did the truth begin to dawn on Adele, and her address labels had gotten all mixed up. Here was this poor old lady so excited about her first party. Cautiously, Adele asked, who are you going to invite? I don't know, but I've made a list of twice as many people as the invitations you can send. Can you get me some more? Her aunt asked with increasing alarm. Stunned, Adele realized how she had misjudged this poor little frail lady. There's a human being inside the body. You'll bet I'll be there, Adele said. Carry on. But Adele, who had received the cameo, but it had made no difference. She would sell it, get it all straightened out at Christmas. The thing would be all right, but if Adele could have seen her irate pastor holding the bottle of bourbon, she would have known that things were never going to be right again. Who do you think she is anyway, that Adele Masterson have a little sanctuary all your own? What is it she's trying to tell me? That I've preached too much and about alcohol? Well, maybe she's right. Maybe I should preach sermons that are more meaningful to more people. Try it and like it. He'll never have a drink in his life. Long, meaningful delay. However, he slept better that night than he had in many years. Many people commented on how unusual it was to send a $5-year-old a $35 gift certificate. However, his mother said it was the most maturing thing she had ever happened to Timmy. She had spent 2 days with him in the store picking out gifts for him and several others. He learned a lot of Christmas and all about unselfishness, all because of Adele's mistake. Her brother wrote her the strangest note. He had gotten the book, he said. I didn't realize my drinking had become obvious, that the family noticed. And I find it wonderfully strange that you are the only one who cared enough to be truthful with me. Adele, thank you for loving me. I've read the book, and anyway, again, thank you. I will be joining AA right away after Christmas. I love you for being you, Jim.
It's coming to an end pretty soon.
Perhaps the only one deeply hurt by the gifts was a young college girl who held a cameo in her hand and then held it up to the red satin dress that was cut in the neckline, virtually to the waist. No two things could have been farther apart than the cameo on the dress. Once again, she read the card. The next great lady in our family, after she spent the holidays with Jack, no one would call her a lady again. She'd lied to her mother about being too busy to come home. And for Christmas, Linda clutched the beautiful cameo to her breast, bent her head and sobbed. Then she called her mother and said, I've changed my mind. I'll be coming home for Christmas. and Adele was never to know of the serious conversation that took place between Linda and her mother that Christmas, but she would one day see the treasured family cameo on a beautiful wedding gown. Finally, Adele began to figure it all out. Must mean that her boss got the teddy bear. He just simply wasn't the type of man who you sent a teddy bear to. She thought of possible explanations and went over them in her mind, and she felt he smiled just a little bit by spring. She tried all day to remember what it was she had written on that little card with a teddy bear. She just could not bring it together in her mind. Little fleeting thoughts she then, oh Lord, she remembered, and how she had wished she had on the end of, she had written, "My dearest, I wish I could hug you as tightly as you will the bear. Come and see me one night during the holidays and we'll have a Christmas you'll never forget." Her resignation would simply be lying on the desk tomorrow morning. There was no way she would ever face Mr. Warren again, or perhaps an act of God would disintegrate the little gift card with the wretched teddy bears, or perhaps the mail would just lose the package. But there was no act of God, and the mail was delivered, and the telephone rang. She answered, and it was the boss. Before she could have panic-stricken, he hurriedly began speaking. "Adele, what time do you plan to serve dinner Christmas?" It was beginning to be a beautiful friendship. Well, it was a Christmas all in all, never to be forgotten. Nobody got what Adele meant for them to have, but everyone got just what they needed. The love of God indeed works in mysterious ways, His wonders to perform. Thank you.